That's why it's very important that you keep the transparency and you get the constant feedback from people about you and your management team and your culture. Because clearly you continue to go, and I think it's very important that good people don't leave and you continue to maintain this great culture.
So I listen to this. I'm scouting digital and tech trends around the world in order to bring it to you, and I've helped numerous companies to set up ecosystems of digital products and services and to increase their reach with attention hacking.
Alright guys, here we have Pierre, who is a renowned venture capitalist and also investor. But you're very active in the fintech space too. What kind of differences do you see between the fintech and the insurtech space?
Yeah, so you're right. I've been doing investments in the fintech space since early 2000 basically. And so it has, obviously the fintech space is much older, much broader. And what I see is the major difference between fintech and insurtech is that the fintechs were able to take a lot of revenues away from the banks. Example, payment, PayPal, remittance space, World Remit, and other companies, because banks were never looking at transferring money from London to Pakistan or to India because it was too complicated for them. So fintechs came in, could do that on a light license, but took revenues basically away there. The whole in trading space, a lot of CFD exchanges, you see now in the lending space, you see in the robo-advisor space. So a lot of revenues are taken away by the banks, and banks are reduced more and more and more because people and consumers like more the agile offering of fintechs. So that's one point. So that's really more mature, more broader, and also the fintechs were able to deliver more results. When I look at the insurtech side, if I may, it's much more difficult. What is the reason for that? That's really I asked myself, and we both discussed about it. It's just an issue about it's more regulated. So the insurance business is more regulated, and the insurers basically have one product. It's an insurance product. So it's not like payment, trading, lending, etc., etc. So it makes it much more difficult. And in a sum up, I believe that's why the insurtech space is a little bit lagging behind, and it's much more difficult also to really create revenues.
Thank you very much for sharing this. My second question is, you mentor a lot of startups, and I think one of your specialty is scaling high growth startups, successful startups, but also they face challenges from time to time. What kind of tips and recommendations do you have to the startup founders out there who actually are in the situation of scaling up? What kind of lessons learned can you share?
Robin, very good question. I think you always learn, so that's the thing. The funny thing I have to say is like what we discussed yesterday was the pitch. That's where it starts. It's not only for startups, but also for later stage companies. They cannot define the problem. They cannot define the problem. What is your real problem? I had an experience last week with someone has been in his company for 5 years, and I asked him, okay, what kind of problem is he solving? And he talked with me 5 minutes, said, no, stop. Can you tell me the problem in 3 bullet points? 3 simple bullet points. And it was very difficult for him. And this is an exercise I do at first. So that's the most important thing. Try to define what are the burning points, the pain points of your customer. If you don't have it, and you don't know them, not be surprised that you can't sell, because obviously you don't touch and so that's the one thing. The second recommendation I do is, you may think you know all, but I tell you there's a lot of...
That's what my wife always says to me. Hey Katja.
There's a lot of mistakes you can do, and what I would do if you, especially as you said, Robin, like you scale up companies, so you're already getting revenues, you're developing, put a nice advisory board together. Think about your corporate governance. You may say, well, why should I deal with these people? I tell you why. Very simple. They have gray hair, or may have gray hair, but they got much more experience, what you don't have. And if a company grows, the challenges grow for yourself. All of a sudden you have an organization, all of a sudden you don't know everyone in the company, all of a sudden people have become unhappy because things don't work, it's difficult, etc., etc., etc. And a lot of the startups are, in the scale-up phase, not experienced manager. So I recommend strongly you put a good advisory board who can help you on that one. So you can listen to, who sees things, who goes into the company. Another recommendation is when you grow very fast, and it's often about processes. And processes is the issue. Get some experienced people. Honestly, get some experienced people. Get some 45 years old in. Yeah, you say, but we're a young company and we have only people like 25 to 30. No. Bring some people in with experience.
And how can you prevent getting corporate politics into your company that can, in some cases, destroy it too?
Yes, very good point, Robin. And that's what people don't foresee, because at the beginning, the first 2-3 years, there are 5 people, 6 people, 10 people, and it's all fun, and we have party, and we go out for drinking. It's all easy. All of a sudden, you grow from 10 to 100 as a different organization. You got business leader, you got segment leader, you got a CFO, you got a CTO, a head of sales, etc., etc. And all of a sudden they have employees, and it's different. And you start thinking in silos, and them against them. It's very difficult. So it's just something where you have to really focus on culture, open discussion, be honest to each other, and make sure that also you get people in who try to verify if the picture or the image you have of yourself that, oh, I'm the wonderful leader and our organization is the best in the world, maybe will get rattled when you get someone in who talks to their employees and they tell them, what a nightmare, this guy is a jerk, he doesn't talk to me, he is lying to me, he's not speaking to me, he doesn't even say hello to me. These things are changing, so make sure you really stick to that and make sure you get this constant feedback.
So not yay-sayers around you, but actually people who honestly tell their opinion to you, even though if you don't want to listen to it.
Yes, absolutely. That's why I'm very important, and that's why I also said advisors or board members, because these are the people who can help you. You go into an organization, they speak to people, and they get often a different picture than you as the boss. And what a lot of startups don't realize, or scale-ups, and all of us, at the beginning they're all friends. But then you become Mr. Müller, the CEO, or Joe, the CEO. And that's a different picture. That's different. You're a different person. Now people they're scared of you. You may fire them, whatever. So people have a different attitude. And that's why it's very important that you keep the transparency and you get the constant feedback from people about you and your management team and your culture. Because clearly you continue to grow, and I think it's very important that good people don't leave and you continue to maintain this great culture.
Pierre, thank you very much.
Robin, it has been a pleasure. Thank you very much.